And I wanted to let you know that we also did some polling so Hawaii County residents could have a say if this bill was a good idea. And across the board, every district in every area strongly support this bill. Nearly 70% in Hilo, 65% in Kohala. The highest percentage rate came out of Kona, over 72%, and South Hawaii had over 60% favorable rate. We also had a lot of even more favorable rate for smokers and non-smokers. Over 50% of smokers support this bill and nearly 70% of non-smokers. But I also want you to hear another side of the bill. There's been a lot of talk in the newspaper and testifiers saying if you have the right to fight in your country, you have the right to buy tobacco. But I want to let you know, as a wife of a military member, it's two different issues. My husband did not join the Marines because he was addicted to a gun or he needed to fight. He joined the Marines because he's the son of an immigrant, and he believed in fighting for freedom. He believed in the state of Hawaii. He believed in our country. On 9/11, when we watched the Twin Towers come down, we knew he would be deployed. He didn't leave because he was addicted to fighting for his country. He left to protect his children. My husband heard his son's first words on the phone when he was deployed with the first unit that was deployed after 9/11 in the state. That was a Hawaii National Guard unit. They were in country 6 months after the Twin Towers came down. In 2011, when he helped the troops come out of Kuwait, he did that because he served his country. So this is two separate issues. And we know that lives will be saved when this bill passes. Thank you for hearing our voice. And we wanted to let you know, County Council members, that Beverly May from the Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids is in the audience today, and she can bring you up to date of legislation that is happening around the country similar to this bill. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your testimony, Ms. Ancheta. Okay, our next two testifiers here in Hilo is Jacqueline You and Lameo Mishira. If you could please come to the table. Good morning.
Good morning. Aloha Chair Yoshimoto and members of the Hawaii County Council. My name is Jacqueline You and I attend University of Hawaii at Hilo. I strongly support Bill 135, raising the age of tobacco sales to 21. Recently, I had just learned that one of my younger family members is a smoker. He had just started college as a freshman, which means that he is no older than 18 years old. I strongly believe that during this age period, many adolescents start experimenting with cigarettes, which can only lead to no good. We need to do our best to prevent young adults, especially within the age of 18 to 21 years, from smoking. Even though in reality, we may not be able to prevent all individuals from smoking, we need to start somewhere. Fortunately, we have a solution to delay youth initiation of deadly tobacco products, which will reduce the risk of experimentation during turning into addiction. I urge you to pass Bill 135 for the health of our county and our youth. Mahalo.
Mahalo. Thank you for your testimony. Lemomi, you're also testifying in support of Bill 135, representing Hui Malama Ola Nauivi. Good morning. Hello.
Aloha, good morning, Honorable Chair Yoshimoto and council members. First of all, mahalo for your vote during the meeting in Kona, and we really appreciate your comments you made that day. I am a tobacco addiction treatment specialist for Hui Malama Ola Nauivi. That means I provide tobacco cessation services to people who want to quit this addiction. Tobacco is an addiction, just as alcohol, just as heroin, ice, it's an addiction. I'm here today also as a parent, and for those of you who are parents, and because you're council members, you're leaders in our community, our kuleana as parents is to provide the best that we can for our keiki. We provide them with housing, with clothing, with love, with food. So part of our kuleana is to guide them so that they learn how to make the right decisions for their lives. And a lot of times we know our kids don't make the right decisions, so that's why we're there as parents. But Bill 135, I urge you to keep supporting it, because as leaders, as parents, we need to help guide our kids in making that right decision. Our kids between the ages of 18 17 to 21 don't necessarily make those right decisions. And as she just spoke about, they're experimenting, they're trying a lot of different things. Definitely our children under the age of 17 who are users are not making that right decision. We need to help them to become healthier, to think about the long term, to not get caught up in an addiction that they will take years and years and years to overcome. So once again, I urge you to continue to support Bill 135 for the health of our island and our families. Mahalo.
Mahalo. Okay, our next two testifiers is Jonathan Chugan. Please come forward, and followed by Mark Hinshaw. If you could both come forward. So when you're ready, just hit the bar on the bottom, and Jonathan, yeah, you're up.
Aloha, Chair, members of the Hawaii County Council. My name is Jonathan Chigan, and I attend Hilo. I am a political science major, and I strongly support Bill 135, raising the age of tobacco sales to 21. There are many reasons why the raise of sales of tobacco products to raise to be 21. My nephew who turned 18 last month has been struggling with tobacco addiction. He has serious health issues related to his respiratory system. I fear that if he does not quit smoking, he will seriously put his health at risk later on in his life. Tobacco companies do not care about the health of teenagers. In fact, tobacco companies take advantage of that, knowing that nicotine addiction is very addictive at a very young age. So I strongly urge you to pass Bill 135 for the health of our county and our youth and our children. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your testimony. Our next testifier is Mark Hinshaw, representing, looks like Main Street, Pahoa.
Yes.
Commenting on Bill 119 and 120. Good morning.
Good morning. Aloha, council members. My name is Mark Hinshaw, and I'm testifying today as president of the Main Street Pahoa Association. It's Pahoa's version of the Chamber of Commerce. We fully support the new Kuahara development in Pahoa, as it will help stimulate our local economy and bring much-needed jobs to our town during both construction and post-occupancy. At our October board meeting, Main Street Pahoa's Board of Directors voted unanimously to recommend to the County Council that the State DOT must complete infrastructure improvements, whether it be a signalized intersection or a roundabout intersection at Pahoa Village Road and Highway 130, before the certificate of occupancy for the Kuahara development can occur. Bryson Kuahara and John McElvaney have advised us that a KTA Superstore will be their anchor tenant, with a store larger than the KTA Puainiko. We believe that residents from all over Puna will travel to the new KTA to shop and just experience the new shopping center, thereby dramatically increasing the traffic through the intersection. It is our deep concern that if the certificate of occupancy is issued prior to the completion of the intersection improvements, that the traffic impact will greatly increase the risk to public safety. This intersection is the most dangerous in the state of Hawaii and must be completed before any additional traffic compounds the problem. Our main concern is for the safety and well-being of our town and its residents. We urge you to understand our concerns and vote to modify this request to include our position. For the record, Main Street Pahoa is the registered holder of the trade name Pahoa Town Center, which we use on a regular basis in promoting Pahoa Town. I've also given each of you a little invitation to our parade, and we welcome you on December the 7th to attend. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Hinshaw. Okay, our next testifier is Laurie Maikai Shershak, and followed by Robin Shershak. If you could please come forward. Did I pronounce that correctly? Laurie and Robin? Good morning. When you're ready, just hit the button on the bottom.
Hello, good morning. My name is Laurie Maikui Shershak, and I'd like to say thank you for listening to me this morning, Honorable Yoshimoto and council members. I am a mother of 5 of my own and 4 stepchildren. And I used to smoke also, but as I ended up with my children, I think about their health as well as mine, so I stopped cold turkey. And to date, out of all my children, there's 3 that actually smokes, and the rest of them are kind of like saying, you know, I don't think you should because of your health, but like our other testimonies, you know, it is their choice. But as a mother and a grandmother of 19 grandchildren, I try to instill the best that I can to teach them the right from wrong. But like I said, it is their choice. And as far as myself, I look at it as I have nieces and nephews also. And I look at their health as well as, you know, everything else. But I'd like to just say that, you know, I really support this bill because of the fact that it is heartening to know that, you know, it does affect a lot of people. My dad and my mom don't smoke. And, you know, from that I will try to teach my children that, you know, that is the right thing to do, you know. But I'd like to thank you.
Okay, thank you for your testimony. We'll hit the button when you're ready. There you go. Good morning, Aloha. Yep.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Robin Shershak, and I'm here to say that I support this bill 135. I just turned 60. I've been smoking since 8 years old. I've quit a few times, and then during that process, a few family deaths have occurred, and it got me smoking again. I tried my best to discourage young people from smoking because it's going to catch up with you, just like it is with myself, and I'm responsible for my consequences. But I would like this bill to be passed because 21 should be an age where people should know what they really want and not be misled by the tobacco companies, and they're trying their best. And I tried the e-cigarette thing too, and they fail to tell you that they might say it's vapor, but you get water in your lungs, and you're gonna die anyway from that. So there's no education in that. I think smoking should be raised to 21 all the way around the clock. Thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you for your testimony. Thank you. Okay, that takes care of the testimony here in Hilo. Let's check in with our other sites. Pahoa, is there any other testifiers in Pahoa? Or any other site online?
Hi, good morning, Chair. We have one testifier here.
Okay, why don't you go ahead?
Okay, this is Ms. Lesley Wingate, representing the Sustainability Council, and she'll be testifying in regards to bills 119, 120, and 134 in opposition.
Okay. Good morning.
Aloha.
Talk to who lives out here feels the same way. They don't want to see a huge shopping center inside of Pahoa. I think if, you know, developers are really determined and there are people that want such a big shopping center, then it would be better to have it towards Ainaloa or, you know, somewhat outside of Pahoa towards Hilo. I think Pahoa is just too small to have that amount of traffic. And the reason I moved here and the reason most of the people I've talked to out here moved here was to live sustainably, to have a chance to live somewhere where we have relatively clean air and clean water and we can grow food. And I know that Hawaii and many states also have some kind of thing in the government saying that we need to get sustainable by a certain date. And I believe that that's mainly dealing with energy, but I think that we need to really get sustainable in all aspects as soon as possible. Because if you look at what's going on in the world right now, our planet is really in crisis. And we live our lives like nothing's going on. But really, if you look at what's happening in the world, our planet really needs some help. And so does our species, if we're going to survive and leave to our children the kind of planet, that we've been left with. And so I think that bringing in this shopping center really goes against creating sustainability here, because it's going to import a lot more products. And I know in my own personal life, I try to eat local, and I really want to support sustainability here. But I know if I go to a grocery store and there's some yummy packaged food, it's hard to not buy it. And so I know if a big shopping center gets brought here, there's going to be a lot of people buying a lot more GMO products and, just creating a lot more trash. And please keep Pahoa small and quaint, and don't bring a lot of development here. We moved here because we want to be sustainable. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. And now I guess I'm going to talk about 134. That, I believe, is about the DUI, the funding for DUI roadblocks. And I just got a little bit of an update. I thought that it was just to stop people on the road at random times, but she said it's just mainly during holidays, and could be. So I'm a little confused about exactly what that money would be used for, and it doesn't say it clearly in the papers I've read. So I'm opposed to any more money going to stop traffic and try to fine people. I'd much rather see that money go into helping people not drink and drive, giving them incentive to not drink and drive rather than try to arrest them when they do and make them pay a bunch of money. So I see a lot of people here that drink, and it's because they're depressed and they need, there just needs to be more out here in Pahoa, there's a lot of talk about a new geothermal coming in, and I'm thinking we already have geothermal coming in, and there's already really high prices on electricity, and our community center here could use an upgrade. And I just would rather see money in Puna going to things that are going to actually help people here and not make life harder for people. Thank you for keeping development out of here and helping keep this a small, quaint, beautiful place that can be a leader in sustainability.
Okay, thank you for your testimony. Just as an announcement, Mr. Onishi has arrived to the meeting. Looks like he's still in one piece, so it looks like he's okay. Welcome back, Mr. Onishi.
Thank you.
Okay, our last testifier, she just signed up, is Carrie Marks, testifying on Bill 122 in opposition. Good morning, Ms. Marks.
Good morning, Council. I think this is final reading already, right? So, yeah, it says so on the agenda, so I had to sit down and say something. I've missed the last few. I'm very concerned about the university plan to remove the roadway. That's a bad idea. It's already a fairly large campus for a small school with really big buildings all over it, and it's hard to get through it as it is. It's hard to get around it as is. If you have a kid at Waiakea, or you can't drive through there as it is, and they're already building up quite a bit. They've put a lot of new housing up, and that's going to bring more cars. And when they met at the Planning Commission, they did talk about a university town center. This is not just a rebuilding. They want to build all kinds of shops and stores. They talked about how if you're a university student and you live there, you can't even buy a roll of toilet paper anywhere. You can walk to the 7-Eleven, which is a block or 3 depending on where you're coming from, and then that's it for a mile or 3. So the idea was to provide shopping so students could buy toilet paper and shampoo and that kind of stuff, and also to have restaurants So, I think it was Mr. Onishi last time that mentioned about an Applebee's or somebody about, that's the plan. They want to have a big restaurant there where the parents can come and sit and eat dinner, and you have no road through the middle. Noello is not a road through the middle, and it will never be a road through the middle. And if you take out this road, this 80-foot right-of-way, guaranteed, the first thing they're going to do is put a great big building in the right-of-way, so that will never, ever happen. So I strongly oppose removing the road. If you can change it to 50 and that's still cool, then maybe, but do not take the road out of the middle of this campus. It's already, it's a difficult campus to use. We like to have movie nights and lectures and stuff there, and I didn't go to school there, and I've only lived here for 12 years, so I don't know the campus well. It's a nightmare for me to try and figure out where to park and how far I gotta walk, so we really, really need a road through there like yesterday, as it is, let alone with the new Applebee's. So that's what I want to say about that. And I also oppose I also oppose Bill 134, the roadblocks. I don't like random roadblocks, drunk or not. I mean, I don't like drunk drivers, but I don't like random roadblocks even more. I'll just keep going.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. That's just it. Everybody hates drunk drivers, that's for sure. But, I have an anonymous story about a guy, we'll call him Hubby, who was driving his family home from the movies one night and got stopped at one of these random roadblocks and didn't have the correct insurance card in the car, so we got a ticket for that. And he's forgetful sometimes, and he forgot to pay it. And so then he went to pay it, and I think he went to the police station, and they told him there was a warrant out for his arrest. And I mean, it escalates very quickly. That, random roadblock and not having the right card in the car because it hadn't stuck it in his wallet yet, ended up with 3 or 4 or 5 court dates, a public defender. I mean, it's money, money, money all the way through the system. So I don't like any of the random roadblocks, and I want them to all stop. Mahalo. Have a good day, everybody.
Thank you, Ms. Marks. Okay, any other person, either here or in other sites that wants to testify on items on the agenda? If I don't hear anything, we're going to be closing public testimony. Last call, if not. Okay, we're closing public testimony. Council members, we just had a break, so I assume we can continue on. Is that okay, council members? Okay.